Hi everyone. To keep the course current, this will be a very short video to bring to your attention three brand new torts that have been created by the courts very recently. The law is not a static thing. We saw that when we looked at the Regina versus Dudley and Stevens case, where in 1884 there was one section of the criminal code that said if you killed someone it was murder. In modern times, meaning now, we have a number of sections in the criminal code because Parliament came to the rescue of people that needed justice as opposed to the law, and they created where you kill someone it can be manslaughter, where you kill someone it can be criminal negligence causing death, when you kill someone it can be infanticide. So we're trying to provide justice and improving over the years. Same thing in tort law. In 1725, we had the case of Reynolds versus Clark, the guy in the wagon with the logs, and the intentional tort of battery did not help that person receive the justice required, and so the courts created the tort of negligence. Well, it wasn't until into the 1900s when that was expanded, okay, and we saw product liability, duty to warn, negligent misrepresentation, negligent omission, and occupier's liability. Better justice over time. We saw a new tort created in 1972 in Ontario when they created the tort of invasion of privacy when someone uses your picture unauthorized. Okay, that's misappropriation of personality. Well, now we have three more torts, okay, and we're not going to emphasize this very much. They may be on Part A of the exam, but it won't figure heavily in the exam content. But in 2016, for example, in the case of Jane Doe, obviously Jane Doe is not her name. That's what the courts do when they want to keep the name of a person confidential. Okay, versus ND. And it was a situation where the torts created this new tort of public disclosure of private facts. All right, and they awarded a huge amount of damages. What happened was a husband and wife broke up. The husband had a lot of videos of them having sex and things, and he started putting them on the internet. Okay, well, it's not defamation because it's not false, but it certainly requires some action by the court, and so they created the public disclosure of private facts tort. Okay. In 2021, we have the case of Kaplan versus Attis, and it recognized the tort of online harassment. All right, what's the difference between harassment and defamation? Well, if you defame me through a statement or a written statement, you have caused me damage, all right? But I have to be able to quantify that damage to get compensated. And so the tort of online harassment goes one step further. It requires the malicious and reckless activity engaged in communications to, over a period of time to hurt someone's credibility. So I'm just looking down a little bit further. Harassment is the intent to harass. You can actually defame someone through unintentional conduct, but the intent to harass, harry, or molest by repeated and serial publications of defamatory material. Okay, and yeah, there's also this thing of mental suffering, but it cannot be mental suffering because mental suffering requires actual mental injury, all right? Where you might not be mentally injured, but you certainly have been harassed, and so you can use the tort of online harassment. It's not invasion of privacy because invasion of privacy is when they use some of your private information for their personal gain. So it's a distinct new tort. And then the third one is the courts in 2019 recognized the tort of publicly placing a person in false light. So again, it's like defamation, but you don't have to prove damages, and it occurs when the plaintiff would be whatever was published about the plaintiff would be highly offensive to a reasonable person. So those are three new torts. And it's just an example of the development of the law. And that would probably make a very good Part B exam question. Explain using 5 examples how the law has developed over time. All right, and that's it. That's like a 5-minute video. So I will end there.